So there's a name in the culinary world here in Hamilton that you might recognize. It is Chef Mark Ferrugia. You might know him from La Piazza Allegra, as well as right here on Cable 14. Well, today we're going to go in and we're going to have Chef Mark talk us through one of the best pizzas I have ever had right here at Sasso. So inside Sasso, Mark, thank you very much for having me in this space. This is stunning.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning. So what are you making for us today?
This is called the Christian Carbo, and this one here I named after my son. He's a breakfast guy. Right? Okay. So with being a breakfast guy, he eats breakfast doesn't matter what time of the day. So this one here is kind of like your breakfast as a pizza.
My kind of kid for sure.
Yeah, he's that kind of a kid. Now what we got here is we got our dough. Now the big thing with dough is you got to make sure it's done ahead of time. So anyone who's making dough at home, when they ask me, you know, when you're making pizza at home, when should I do my dough? I'd say 24 to 36 hours in advance. You gotta let it relax or else it just becomes too gummy and too stretchy.
This is probably the best news that I've heard in a while, because so many places, so many people mess that up and they rush it. Right, and you can't rush love.
You can't. That's exactly it. And you know, when you're working with wood oven, if you have a wood oven in your backyard or something like that, it's a bit of a science too. I mean, it's not like working with, you know, an oven where it's controlled heat all the time. It does change. You get hot spots, and the hot spot changes from time to time as well. So it's this one's a bit of a labor of love to figure out what you're doing when it comes to wood oven pizza.
So you're not just rolling out a dough, slapping some toppings on, and firing it into the oven. I mean, you really have to babysit.
You have to babysit. That's exactly it. You know, even the way you rolled it out, I don't know if you noticed when I was rolling, you're pushing from the center outward to the edges, because what you're doing is your dough, as it sits overnight, it collects air. You got a lot of those air pockets. So what you want to do is you want to push those to the edge, but you don't want to use a rolling pin or anything like that. And then you got to stretch it gently from there. You want the dough to relax. You do want it at room temperature. When you start to stretch it, it's a lot easier to work with than straight out of the fridge. So, you know, 45 minutes to an hour before you start stretching your doughs, take them out, let them warm up, get to room temperature, and then you start kneading it out.
Can you give some people at home a tip as to what they can maybe sort of look for while they're sort of stretching or kneading their dough?
You want to make sure that your dough is not too gummy, so it has to be fairly dry, okay? We don't use a lot of yeast. As a matter of fact, as we've been making the doughs over the months, we've had to cut back on the amount of yeast, because now the yeast cultures are in our fridge and stuff like that, so we've actually cut back on the amount of yeast we use. So with the feel of the dough, you want it dry enough that it'll come off your hands nice and clean. You don't have to worry about anything, you know, sticking to it, and it should have some elasticity. So when I pull on this dough, you'll see me stretch it. You should see it come back a little bit, okay?
Perfect.
Our pizzas here, we do 11 inches.
Okay.
You know, it's a personal size. We cut it into 4 traditionally. That's what is done in Italy. You don't get these, you know, 12, 16 slice pizzas. It's cut into 4 and away you go. So we're going to take some semolina.
The Durham semolina. Now, the purpose of this is what, for reminding people at home?
This helps it from sticking to the board, number one. It also gives you a nice crust on the bottom. So when you put it in the oven, you get that little bit of crunchiness you're going to get when you start eating your pizza. We have a bechamel, and we add a little bit of cheese into our bechamel so that it's got a little bit of saltiness to it, because a lot of the cheeses that we use here in the restaurant is the DOP mozzarella, this one here.
So what's the DOP mozzarella?
So this is certified that it is done in the traditional way, done back in Italy. It's an import. It is no salt. If you taste that, there's no salt in that. That's true mozzarella.
I am tasting this, by the way.
Yes.
This is really
That is true mozzarella. So we got some bacon here. We got a little bit of maple bacon that we do.
Maple bacon, not just regular bacon.
Regular
maple bacon. I can smell that. Even cold, I can smell the maple on that. That's fantastic.
We have our edamame. And the edamame, again, he loves edamame. It gives you a little bit of a nice color, first of all. It gives you a little bit of that flavor that you're going to get from the edamame is going to help out with the bacon and cut down on a little bit of the fat there. We get our DOP.
It excites me to see that you're putting your cheese on top of your toppings. I see this mistake made all the time, in that cheese is thrown down first, and then what you end up with is your toppings are either burnt or it ends up making the whole dough soggy. But what you've just done is you've just created this beautiful blanket of flavor that's going to complement the crust.
Here's breakfast.
You're cracking this on here raw to then bake in the oven.
Bake it in the oven. We're gonna put it on the peel and we're gonna fire it into the oven. So, there it is.
I mean, breakfast any time of the day, and it is the most important meal of the day. That looks so good.
So, cut it into 4.
Oh, just, oh, you can hear the crust. You can hear the dough just saying, eat me, it's so good. Oh.
And there you go.
So
you got edamame, bacon. The works.
The DOP cheese. I'm not messing around
please,
here.
Help yourself. I'll start knocking off another one for us.
So excited.
How's that?
That is so good.
Good. Good. I'm glad.
Look at
you're
that.
enjoying it.
Right there. Look at that perfect crust. And the semolina on the bottom is just gorgeous. It adds this nice little crunch.
Gives it a nice crunch, nice texture.
It's not much though. It's just enough to hold that crust together. The edamame and the sweet maple bacon is the perfect balance for this gorgeous mild cheese and the best pizza crust I've ever had.
You know what? It makes a big difference when you're doing that wood burning too. You got that, you got that smoke and all that flavor that comes out of our wood. I mean, we use. I got a great supplier supplies me cherry wood only.
Cherry wood,
which has been fantastic.
So why cherry wood?
You know what? It's a hardwood. It burns nicely. You don't get a lot of ambers off of it, which is another big thing for us. And then I like fruit trees. I like using fruit trees for wood. So
that is unreal. I have to tell you, this is one of the best pizzas I have ever had in my entire life. You have to get here to Sasso on Upper James. This is Mark Ferrugia. I am Dan Megna here on Hamilton Eats. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
That is absolutely spectacular. I can't wait to bring my son back here to try your son's pizza. This is going to be fantastic. Check us out soon. I've been to the South a half a dozen times, and my favorite part about going there are the people and the food. Now we're gonna go into this cool little place right here on King Street where Connie Rubel has as much personality as her food right here at Mississippi Queen Foods. Back here in an authentic kitchen. Connie, thank you so much for bringing me back here. I'm super excited to see what you're going to cook for me today.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being back here with me. We're going to have some jambalaya.
You're making jambalaya? Oh, one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Awesome. That's good to hear.
Now, I know that this is the kind of recipe that, anybody who has any experience with Southern cooking is going to say it's got to be done this way or it's got to be done that way. But, I mean, the truth of the matter is the heart and soul of this kind of a dish comes from whoever's cooking it.
Yes.
So, how are you doing this today?
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some boneless chicken thighs, and also I have some smoked pork sausage that's already been cooked.
Okay.
First thing that we're going to do is we're just going to put this into a pan for roasting, because we're going to cook this together so these flavors can meld pretty nicely. We're going to throw it in the oven.
So smoked sausage, chicken thighs, that's it?
Yeah, that's it. And I don't even put any of my seasonings, any of the vegetables. We just want it just like this. I'm going to toss that into the oven, 400 degrees. Cook that, until till the chicken's obviously cooked through. Maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes.
That's it, just until the chicken's done.
Yeah, exactly. And then there may be some fat off the pork and off the chicken as well. It's nice to have a little bit of that fat for the flavor, but you don't want it floating in it, so you might have to pour off some of the fat. So in the process.
First step, just come out of the oven. The chicken is cooked all the way through and the sausage is all melded with flavors. What's the next step?
Well, we're going to now start adding all of our vegetables in here. We've got some garlic that's been minced.
Oh, I love garlic.
I do too. Some celery, same thing. This is what we call down south the Holy Trinity. We've got green pepper, onion, adding all this in as well. We're going to put some tomatoes in here. Oh, just a little bit. Then we might as well.
The aromas from this are already fabulous.
I know. This is the core of like Cajun and Creole cooking, are this vegetable mix right here.
It already looks vibrant.
Doesn't it?
We're not even halfway there yet. This is great.
You know what? This is time. I'm going to add some seasoning as well.
Okay.
I've got some salt that I'm going to put in here, some sea salt. I'm going to shake that around. Some ground pepper. You can make your own Creole seasoning. You can use basic onion powder, garlic, cayenne pepper, paprika, thyme, oregano. Create your own. But right now I'm using one. This is Andy Rue's Cajun garlic. I like that. I like some of the flavors that it adds to it.
You're obviously not shy on your garlic, which I love.
No, I love it.
The Italian in me really speaks to the southern garlic flavor, so this is this is good.
They call the garlic down south around New Orleans, it's referred to as the Pope. So it's the Holy Trinity and the Pope.
I love it. I love it.
And you know what? Right now, what we've got left then is we're going to add in some chicken stock.
Okay. Beautiful.
And you know what? I like to add a little hot sauce as well. Got some Louisiana original.
So you're gonna put some hot sauce in the base. So when this cooks, all that flavor is just just come to life.
It's like kick-starting it a bit. So how about we add?
Ooh, that's smoky too. I can smell that.
Can you?
Uh-huh.
Like that?
Yeah, that's true South for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I put a little extra kick in there. So let's add hot sauce, and then once we stir this, then the only thing left really is to add the rice.
So you're gonna put your rice in this, and have you cooked your rice?
No, this is just raw, uncooked rice.
Okay. All your rice is going in here now, and this is going to cook in here. So all the flavors, all the juices, all that love, all the smokiness from the hot sauce and the sausage.
There was extra love.
Extra love. Oh, you can tell. Yeah. All of that is going to cook in this rice. So as it absorbs the moisture, and and puffs up, and that rice comes together, everything, all those flavors become one. I mean, it's just good stuff. So what's next?
Time to go in the oven.
That's it?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it at 350. I'm gonna cook it in the oven until this rice is done, and then we're ready to eat.
My favorite part, for sure. I'm excited. It smells so good.
Yeah, it's finished. Pulled it out of the oven. All done. Ready to eat.
So you have like quite the history with Southern food, and this looks so good. It looks like just the way I would eat it when I was down south.
Well, exactly. I'm from Mississippi originally, Pearl River County, Mississippi. I grew up about an hour east of New Orleans, so this is my down-home traditional style of cooking and eating. I eat mine with a little bit of hot sauce. What do you think?
Some hot sauce.
Yeah,
yes, please.
Try some of that Louisiana hot sauce on there.
No.
Yeah,
you also don't just cook here as well.
No. We do catering as well. So I mean, you can have this in your house. I cater for offices as well, special events. So not just a restaurant. We take the show on the road.
That's really good.
Thank you so much.
That hot sauce made the difference. This is where the base flavor of everything that came together comes alive. There's so much life in this, and my favorite part is the balance between the smoky sausage and the tender chicken. Using chicken thighs was just brilliant. It almost brings a tear to my eye. The spice, the flavor, the soul, and honey, you have all of that just in yourself, and you can taste that in this food. My name is Chef Dan Megna. We are here at the Mississippi Queen Foods with the Mississippi Queen herself. Woo! You have to come in here and check this out right here on Hamilton Eats. Thank you so much
for coming for your visit. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
So on Hamilton Eats, you know me as Chef Dan from Twisted Lemon Restaurant in Cayuga. But today I'm going to introduce you to my new place right here on James Street North in the heart of Hamilton called Lake Road Restaurant, where I'm going to be cooking for you. So we're here in my kitchen at Lake Road. And one of the philosophies that we live by here is building an experience. So I've brought in a friend from Collective Arts who I've asked to pair a beer with a dish that I'm going to make. I'd like to introduce you to Elliot Gwynn. Elliot, welcome to Lake Road, my friend.
Thanks so much. Glad to be here.
This is going to be incredible because I'm going to put a great dish together for you, and I see you've obviously come prepared. This is what I'm talking about, a lineup of beer. Fantastic. So as we go through this, I'd like you to sort of think about how you would pair this food, because that's a lot of what you guys do.
Of course, the best kind of pairing is like you want to have a nice variety, especially with our beers. I brought 4 of our core beers this time, anywhere from like a nice tropical fruit to a nice easier going. So I'm really excited to see what we got here. And you've told me a little bit about it. It might have a little bit of a citrus, might be a little bit of a kick to it, and I might have something that might accent that a little more.
I'm stoked. This is what we live for. So we're going to get started. And right off the bat, I'm going to put down on this plate. This is something that you can get right here at Lake Road on the core menu. This is a chickpea hummus. So a little spread that we're going to put down here. And we're going to add right beside it some organic carrot and harissa puree.
Sorry, what's that one called?
So carrot and harissa. So harissa is a spice. It's like a chili pepper and paprika style spice from North Africa that's got a little bit of kick, but it goes really well with the carrot. You want to try some?
No, yeah, I'd love some.
Okay, so carrot and harissa puree.
Now you get that. Oh, okay.
See, it gets you right in the end.
You get that sweet carrot, and then a nice. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's spicy. It's good.
So we're going to add, to finish here on this side, this is an eggplant baba ganoush, which is like a roasted eggplant puree. And from here, we're going to play a little bit. And this is going to be a little bit of an artistic twist to this dish. We're going to take a palette knife, an angled palette knife, and spread that out on the plate. So all the components you can get individually, but you can bring that together on your own if you like. So we've got some tzatziki sauce, which I've just put down, and we're going to add on here a nice portion of tabbouleh. And tabbouleh is bulgur, the grain, with fresh mint, parsley, lots and lots of parsley, lemon, tomatoes, onions, some garlic oil. Really, really very vibrant.
So we're kind of hitting all different kind of taste palettes here in different flavors, be it spicy, be it sweet, be it savory, kind of everything, right?
It's all over the place, and it's very vibrant and extremely fresh. Lots of great flavors. I'm going to put on some frisee lettuce. Okay. We're going to now add onto this plate some toasted, spiced chickpeas. So these are nice and crunchy. I'm going to just sort of sprinkle those around the plate.
Can I try one of those?
You want to try some chickpeas?
Yeah.
There you go. So those are the toasted chickpeas.
Spicy, anything.
And to eat this, we're going to add on some garlic toasted pita shards. So these are pita chips, pita pockets, essentially, that have been split, rubbed with a roasted garlic oil.
And all this is made here, right?
Everything is made fresh from scratch here at Lake Road.
Even the pitas? Like with the flavoring?
Absolutely. Some good quality extra virgin olive oil. This helps to build a gorgeous mouthfeel with all the different components that we have on this dish. So I'm going to be just nice and random, and we're going to add this all over the plate. We're now going to take some fresh mint. This is really fun. This is a chickpea dust. Now this is essentially taking these beautiful chickpeas that we've roasted and spiced and blitzing them in a food processor until you get essentially flour. It's almost its own roasted chickpea flour, and sprinkle that all over. Now the last thing that we're going to do to finish this plate is we're going to take a microplane and some fresh lemon, and we're going to zest some of the rind to land kind of all over this gorgeous quattro tuffo is what we call this, 4 dip. Now this is so much fun and so vibrant, and we add this with some of our garlic toasted pita shards. And Elliot, I am super excited for you to enjoy this great plate, and I can't wait to hear what kind of beer you're going to pair with this.
I got something in mind already, but how do I actually go about eating this?
You're going to want to get a little bit of everything on a chip to give you the best balanced flavor.
Guys, grab one of these guys?
Go for it.
All
Dig
right.
in.
So I'm trying to get one of everything
Grab
here.
a little bit of everything.
And go from the meatier side here.
So the whole idea when you're pairing a dish is to try to get as many different flavors as you can and put it all together, because that way you're going to get a more well-rounded flavor and balance, so you know where your what flavors are going to come together to balance it out. What do you think?
Well, first of all, the lemon totally, oh my gosh, it's a whole roller coaster of a
Roller coaster.
Yeah, because it starts off, the carrot there, I got the sweetness from that, but right away that lemon really pushed forward, is right on my palate, the sweetness from it, and 100% I know the beer that will pair perfectly with this.
All right, hit me with it. I'm thirsty, and,
Okay.
and so what are you pairing?
So I'm actually pairing, it's actually a citrus blonde ale, so it's actually right hand in hand with this.
So you said lemon right up front?
Exactly.
Perfect.
So this one has like citrus and lemon right in there. We actually use zest, actually how you do it here with how you shaved it on top of the menu there,
right.
on the food. We actually do that right in the brewing process.
Fantastic.
So it's almost the exact same ingredients.
That's
A
incredible.
little more
And this is
beer.
called Saint of Circumstance.
Saint of Circumstance, local Hamilton brewery.
I love it. See, you've got local food, you've got local brew, good combination right from the very beginning.
Want to try some?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty. Citrus blonde, this one's going to be just kind of like exactly how your food here kind of pairs. Give that a little try, and you always get a lot of that smell in this one. You're going to get a lot of that citrus.
See, that's very cool.
It is our most like summery beer, nice patio to sip it with snacks. This is almost the ideal snack to pair this with. It's ridiculous.
I can't tell you how much fun it has been to have you here at Lake Road pairing great local beer with a dish that you can find here on our core menu. My name is Chef Dan Megna. This is Elliot Gwynn from Collective Arts Brewery right here in Hamilton, and this is Hamilton Eats. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Great food, great beer. Come back and see us again soon. This is fantastic.